Okay, here's my first semi-decent leg workout since tearing my quad a month ago. Still didn't go heavy on quads, but I had full range of motion at least, so I was able to go heavy on hamstrings and get some work in on quads. Started with lying leg curls. This is my heavy set, so supposed to be somewhere around 6 to 8, and I think it was possibly a little too heavy, but maybe not. And then I went to a back off set that's supposed to be somewhere around 9 to 13 reps. And I always have trouble with non-compound movements. Compound movements, you can kind of gauge your rest period by your breathing. You know, they just get your whole body out of breath. But non-compound movements, you're not out of breath. So it's really, after 10 seconds, you want to go jump into the next set, or at least I do. And in this case, I didn't wait quite long enough. I probably should have dropped the weight a little lower or rested a little longer, but it is what it is. Didn't quite get the reps I wanted on this set, at least the strict reps, but it burned, so it did something. And then I moved on to walking lunges, which I do almost every leg workout just to kind of loosen up. And my knees have really been hurting. I don't know if that played in a role in the quad tear or not, but the patellar tendonitis has been really, really bad. It comes and goes, but it's been really bad for a few months now. So much so that I can't even do a full lunge to start. I mean, even what I'm doing here is quite painful, but I like these because it loosens up my hips, loosens up my groin, gets some blood in the quads, and without putting really heavy stress on the quads or the knees. And so I did 3 sets here, down and back. And after 2 of the sets, I did a really, really, really light set of leg extensions for 20 reps, just to kind of continue to keep blood in the quad and lube up the knee joint. So these, I don't really count these as working sets. I'm mostly just feeling and stretching, but the rest of my leg workout tends to go much better when my hips are stretched out after a couple sets of walking lunges. So I do include them just about every workout. And then from here, I go back to another hamstring movement. I just really like to make sure my body's as warm as possible before I do any heavy quad movements. And also, most people have weak hamstrings, so I figure there's nothing wrong with spending a little extra emphasis early in the workout on hamstrings. This is seated leg curl on the hammer, and probably went a little light here. I haven't done these in a while, so I forgot where my strength was at. I know I'll do 4 or even sometimes 4 and a 25. But that's if I do these as the first hamstring movement. As the second hamstring movement and third movement of the workout, I thought I would need to back off a little bit, but it really was kind of lighter than I expected. So same thing, I did a heavier set, and then I quickly backed off to a set with just 3 plates for higher reps. I didn't show that one. And now on the leg press, I did 5 sets of 20 here. None of them were hard. And you'll see there's nothing very exciting, and there's no heavy weight, and my form's probably not even that great. But this is the first time putting any load on that quad since the tear. So I was playing it safe and trying to be smart about it. The quad is still tight, and it was kind of pulling across at the hip near the IT band. And so you can see there, I'm kind of wedging my thumb and my knuckle into the IT band, create a little pressure there, and it did kind of open it up, thankfully. But the first couple reps of each set, it would repeat the same thing. So it's probably quad tightness. I mean, for a month, I haven't been able to bend that knee fully. So things are going to get tight. It's expected. So all I'm thinking here is don't tear it again. If you feel any pain, make sure you're paying attention to it. And then just keep the reps smooth and controlled. That's not my knee, that's my hip. I have a bad hip, and any kind of seated position where my back's arched will kind of pull that hip out of socket. It's a long story, I'll maybe explain in a later video. But then on to leg extensions. 4 sets here of 20 also. Nothing heavy at all. Just trying to keep the weight controlled. Really pretty boring. Just trying to squeeze, contract, make sure my quad's working, make sure I can contract that quad hard without pain. And really not worrying about weight. The weight was to where I was getting close to failure around 20 reps, or maybe not muscular failure, but lactate failure, especially in that left quad, which hasn't been used for much in a month. But it was good. Full extension, full range of motion on this. No quad pain. There was some knee pain, but I don't think that's related to the quad, because it was both knees. And you never realize how boring a high rep set of leg extensions are until you're watching one, I think. It did burn quite a bit. And then I went on to stiff leg deadlifts. And this is my only real heavy movement of the workout. This is 495. Those smaller plates are 45s. They're just a different brand that don't look very impressive on video, but they're nice on deadlifts because you don't have to keep lifting the bar up. And now what I'm doing on these is I'm just doing stiff leg. I'm not doing straight leg or Romanian deadlift. All I'm trying to do is a deadlift where my leg position doesn't change, where I don't really change the knee bend. I get a little change in knee bend there,